is, how do you know if you're being deceived? The short answer is you probably don't. In fact, you should assume that every day, all the time, deception is the default state. If you lived out in the wilderness somewhere where there's nobody, no social media, nobody talking to you, then I could see you would be less likely to be deceived, providing your sensory organs are working properly. With all the influence we're getting from politicians, from the media, from social media, you can pretty much assume we are being deceived all the time, every day, everywhere. Then if you add to that something Jesus said, take Jesus as a credible source of information. I realize not everybody does, but if you do, he was talking about the prince of this world as a very real being, and he described him as, and I quote, the father of lies. So if you add that to the mix, we have a serious deception problem going on in this world. We're not only be passively deceived, we're being actively deceived by other people who have an agenda, and ultimately we're being actively deceived by the father of lies. And he's described as the prince of this world. Two things to note there, that he has a certain amount of power over all the governments of this world. And secondly, as the father of lies, is he is the master of deception. He has the ability to deceive that would make any human being probably look like a kid by comparison. You know, a kid tells lies and has to cover them up and invent new lies and whatever, and it gets pretty almost humorous if you're an adult. When you throw all that into the mix, you can assume we're probably deceived about almost everything. The question then becomes, is only a matter of degree. How badly are we being deceived? And how can we get back on track? And I think there is a way to get back on track, but it's not going to be me by myself that's going to get me back on track, because I'm the guy, I'm the victim here. I'm the guy that's deceived. My very mind is being deceived. So to ask the mind to undeceive itself is a little bit naive, I think. So that's the default. How do you know if you're being deceived? Assume that you are, first of all. And secondly, assume that you're in a very poor position to know if you're being deceived. And this is where, and when they say, how can I get back on track? This is where reality is very handy.